Hey, it's me, it's Mike. I don't know how I got live. All of a sudden, I'm live. But here we are. Here we are. Whew. Let's get right into it. Um, Fake Human is here. Hey, Fake Human. I was going to test the mic. I hope the mic is working. I didn't even get a chance to test the sound because I'm in the new studio. Well, studio's still working. Is the sound okay? I don't know how I ended up live all of a sudden. I don't know what happened. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we are. We're live. And we got, hey, it's Jolyn. How you doing? Let's get right to it because I gotta test this mic. I was supposed to be testing the mic, and somehow we went live. So here we go.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. Hey, so you're saying it sounds, Jolyn, you're saying it sounds great. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Hey, we got Raphael. Hey, man, good to see you. I got your emails and Fake Human. Hey, how you doing? Hey, that's Hot Lips. Is that Hot Lips there? Hot Lips from Gora Hari's channel. Okay. Good old Hot Lips. Um, So, before I get to the spinning of the wheel and the mail that um, Raphael sent in, somebody was asking me uh, about how after 20 years, I left after 20 years, and why. And so it was basically, just to rehash, it was basically I was I was hanging out at the LA Temple with just LA Temple people for about 8 years, and then the last 12 years I was with Yashodanandan and the Ritviks. Hey, Howard Johnson. So I was basically with the Ritviks, and I just want to say, I know because a lot of people ask me about the Ritviks and the poisoning and all this crap, and it's like I don't. So I'm gonna go over the whole Ritvic thing, okay? Because I've heard it all. I've heard all the arguments. I was with Yashodanandan. I helped write a book. I helped write a Ritvic book. Um, I've associated with I know these. I've not hung out, but I've heard lectures from gurus and all kinds of these guru people with their gurus and these gurus. And then, I've also heard all the shit from all the Ritviks. Hey, Trey, how you doing? So thanks for coming by. So I just wanted to give you my outlook, my point of view on the whole Ritvic thing. Okay, first of all, you gotta you gotta go by what Prabhupada says in his books. Prabhupada says in his books, and he said when he was asked many times, when he was interviewed and he was asked, how did you become a guru? How did you become the leader of this Hare Krishna movement. And he said, one becomes guru when he's authorized by his guru. Okay, so, and he says that in his books. He says, bona fide spiritual master, he's authorized by the previous acharya, his spiritual master. He comes in a line of disciplic succession. He doesn't just say, hey, I'm, okay. So you have to go by what Prabhupada says in his books. Hey, how you doing, Dahlia? So then you go, okay, so why didn't Prabhupada just appoint someone? Why didn't Prabhupada just appoint someone as a guru? His best guy. Why didn't he just appoint his best guy? He was a cult leader. He wasn't going to turn over his cult to these guys. These guys were not. Prabhupada knew these guys. He wasn't naming any of these guys. But he also made them these Ritvik, whatever you want to call it, these Ritvik. He wrote this letter and made them this Ritvik. But then once he passed away, he didn't appoint anybody. So then he left the door open for anybody to do anything. Pure chaos. So the sannyas frauds he created became guru frauds. Well, why not? Yeah, absolutely. They weren't qualified to be sannyas, so they weren't qualified to be gurus. And that's whose fault is that? That's Prabhupada's fault. That was a failure. Why didn't he just pick? Why didn't he just say? Prabhupada could have just solved this whole. All he had to do was say, okay, Hridayananda and Kirtanananda and Tamal and that's it. These four guys. Or he could have said a bunch of guys. Or he could have said what he could have done anything. Prabhupada could have done anything. And it would have went along with what his books say. They were authorized by the previous acharya. Authorized. Prabhupada said, when did you become guru? He said, when. He didn't say. He said, you have to be authorized by the previous acharya, but Prabhupada wouldn't say when his guru made him a guru, because that never happened. Bhaktisiddhanta did not appoint Prabhupada to be a guru. So, in the same way that Prabhupada was never really authorized, when did Bhakti? He didn't. So when did these guys get? They weren't. It's the same shit. It's the same crap. Prabhupada was never authorized or appointed or made a guru. He did that himself. He said, hey, Bhaktisiddhanta, my guru told me one day. He said, hey, you speak English really well. You should go preach. That doesn't mean become the next acharya, the sampradaya acharya, or after I pass away, you can become the sampradaya acharya, and you're going to go to the West, and you're going to. No, he never got any order like that. He was never ordered or authorized to do all of that. He took that on upon himself. So if Prabhupada, then these gurus are perfectly fine in being gurus. I mean, according to Prabhupada, we know that Prabhupada and everybody, they're frauds. But if you're trying to figure out what Prabhupada wanted in his movement, look at what he did. Look at what he did. He just made himself a guru. That's why his godbrothers were like, "What? Who is this guy?" That's why he wanted to go back to India with all of these dancing monkeys. with his white elephants. So he could say, look, I am guru, I am authorized, I am the real deal. You guys were laughing at me, but look who's laughing now. I got a whole movement, I'm building a temple, and I got some land in Mayapur, and I got a shitload of temples wherever. And they're like, well, when were you, who made you guru? It's the same shit. It's the same shit the Ritviks are saying to these gurus. Prabhupada's godbrothers were saying to him, and who are you to be guru? You're just whatever, Bhakti Vedanta or whatever. This whole Ritvik thing and guru thing, it's all the same. It's all the same bullshit, because Prabhupada could have easily just said, why didn't he just say? Why didn't Prabhupada just say, hey, pause, and here's a fun fact on Bhakti Siddhanta. I think he was the first rapper, I guess. Why? This morning I read the harmonist that for years he was chanting 192 rounds daily. That's such bullshit. This is all such a bunch of, these guys, they'll say anything. Like my friend Radha Kund would say, he'd say anything if he thought he was going to score points, or if it was going to make him look good, or if it was going to somehow, whatever, man. They don't care what stories they make up and what they say, and huge holes in the so-called disciplic succession. Yeah, there's huge holes in it. Prabhupada knew there were holes in it. They make all these excuses, and Prabhupada says, well, he accepted this guy, and he accepted it in his mind. Well, if he can accept him in his mind, or he can take sannyas from a painting or a picture or a photograph, or hear the chanting from a tape recorder, what all these things, then Gora Hari can have a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream that Prabhupada will come and abuse all the little kids, little black kids, little white kids. I have a dream. If you can get initiated by a photograph or a painting, like Bhakti Siddhanta did or whatever, then Gora Hari can have a dream. Gora Hari can have a dream. It's friggin' insanity. And why not? Why not? I mean, why not? Why not? Why not take initiation from a painting? It makes as much sense as getting initiated from little potato head. You know, Prabhupada says women are dumber because they have smaller brains, but elephants and whales have bigger brains than people. So are people dumber than elephants? Well, Prabhupada would say, if you want to go by Prabhupada, he would say, well, their brains are larger, but they're covered. They have more. Their body is what's. He says Prabhupada says their body is their karma. They don't have karma like we do. Like we make a choice, and then we get karma from it. But an animal doesn't have karma in the same way that we do. The animal's body is the karma. So like a lion doesn't have karma from eating another animal, like we get karma from eating an animal. The animal doesn't get karma because the body that it has is its karma. So the whale might have a big brain, and yeah, it's smart because it has a big brain, but it's the body that it has makes it dumb. Because it's like the brain and the senses can't work because it's limited by the body that it has. That's the karma of the animal. So like when if you have bad karma, you're going to take birth as an animal. The body of that animal is your karma. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how they can explain. That's how Prabhupada can easily explain why an animal with a big brain is dumb. It's because of their body, not their brain. It's their body. So, I don't, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. The body brain index. Yeah, it's your it's your BBI, your brain to body. Like instead of your body fat, your body mass index or whatever. It's your brain. It's how many. It's your brain substance. It's how much. That's what Prabhupada thought. It was like how much brain substance you have in your head determines how smart you are. But it just doesn't explain why someone who has a bigger brain could be dumber than someone with a smaller brain. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Um, anyway, yeah. So the guru thing. So that's my take on the whole Ritvik thing. So I was with these Ritviks for 10 years, for like 12 years, and I was, well, I was working with Yashodanandan and the Ritviks for like 11 or 12 years. But even from the very beginning, when I first read Bhagavad Gita and was getting into the whole thing, I still knew that these gurus were nowhere near the level of Prabhupada. This is the Prabhupada's level of, growing up a Hindu in India, uh, you know, studying and writing these books. Um, I didn't consider him a cult leader at that time. I just considered him this guru guy. But even in that, with that, limited understanding of who Prabhupada was, I could still tell that these guys were nowhere on the level of understanding as Prabhupada. So how could they possibly be gurus? Like how could they even consider that themselves that they were on this next level or on a guru level? How could they even consider that, knowing compared to what Prabhupada grew up? He grew up as a Hindu. He lived in a temple. He grew up. His father, he was the whole thing. That was his culture. So it makes sense that he would become a Hindu cult leader. That makes sense. That's not a mystery. That's not crazy. These guys, there's a bunch of them. They've been coming out of India for a long time. These God men that think they're God and they think that they're gonna save you and they're gonna hook you up and they're all of this stuff. This is nothing new. It's no shock that Prabhupada would become one of these guys. It's not. But the difference between Prabhupada and someone like Keith Ham or Tamal, I don't know, I can't remember Tamal's name, Tamal or any of these guys. Like these guys, that I understood that from the very beginning. I wasn't that dumb. I wasn't that dumb that I was gonna just pop in and just like, oh, where's my guru? I mean, there was a time when I was thinking like, oh, well, they told me. Look, they told me we have all these gurus. We have all these gurus, and you can pick one. Hey, it's the cat. Hey, N, how you doing? Glad to see you're here, man. Glad to see you're here. So they told me right off the bat. They said, hey, you can. Well, see, my friend, Beer Lakshman, Thomas something. Yeah, Tamal. I can't remember his name. But my friend Beer Lakshman, when I first was reading Bhagavad Gita, and I was like really getting into the whole the idea of being, the spiritual path and 5,000-year-old tradition and Chaitanya and all of this stuff. And I asked him about gurus, and he said, I don't know. He said, Prabhupada passed away. I don't know what to tell you. And I just kind of felt like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, how do you get Thomas? No. No, you're thinking of the guy that's in jail. The guy that shot Salochan. Yeah, that's the guy that shot Salochan. And now he's a sannyasi. They gave him sannyas in jail, so I guess being in the renounced order while you're in jail is not hard. Because I mean, what can you do? It's not hard to do. But I knew from the beginning so I went to the L.A. temple when my friend told me, he goes, I don't know what to tell you about finding a guru. I don't know. I can't help you with finding a guru, he said. Because he was like outside the temple. He was outside the community. He didn't associate with anybody. He was just this loner, weirdo Hare Krishna guy. I mean, he was a cool dude, but he was just like, he didn't have anything to do with the temple or anything. But through him, I met all these other devotees that did have. So anyway, he tells me, I don't know what to tell you about getting a guru. And I kind of felt like, well, that's kind of shitty. I got this book. I got this book, and it says, he's telling me I got to find a bona fide spiritual master, and now you're telling me you don't know where there's a bona fide spiritual master. I said, it seems like, I don't know, man. That seems like bait and switch. So I ended up going to the L.A. temple, and I started talking and making friends like with Govinda Dutt and Narantra and a couple other devotees at the LA temple. And I asked them, hey, what's up with finding a guru, in today's, in 1993, it's 1993, it's 1993. So what do you do? Papa's been gone for, a long time. Well, a long time. And they told me there's like 80 gurus you can choose from. You can just, there's a list. If you look in the Back to Godhead magazine, there's a list of gurus, and you can just find one. And I said, wait a minute. I didn't laugh in their face because that would have been offensive, but I was laughing inside. I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me that there's 80 of these guys? There's 80 of them? Like, there's 80. You're telling me there's 80 of these gurus? You want me to believe that? You got to be out of your mind. I was like, you got to be out. I was like, you got to be out of your mind. So I never even considered getting initiated by one of these guru guys. I was like, I was like, if I meet a guru that seems I'm open to it, but I already knew. And then I meet Tamal Krishna, and I met some of these other gurus, and then the thing happens with my daughter, and I'm like, I don't know, these gurus, this ISKCON thing, I don't know. I was having some doubts, and then I met the Ritviks, like through Radhakunda and these other devotees. I met Yashodananda. I swear, I'm like Forrest Gump. So I meet Yashodananda up in Badger. Radhakunda introduces me to Yashodananda, and Yashodananda instantly takes a liking to me because I was doing video. I had a video camera with me. I was doing public access cable TV in LA, and I was into computers. So Yashodanandan was like, Uh, so I met Yashodananda. I think we had dinner at his house or something in Badger, and then I didn't see him. I knew him, but I didn't see him after that. And then he moved like a couple years later. He moved to LA. He was hanging around with these devotees that I knew. Like all of a sudden, he moved from Badger to LA. So all of a sudden, Yashoda's like he's around, and then I met him a couple times at someone's house or something, and he said, "Hey, do you work on computers?" And I said, "Yeah, I work on computers. I know about computers." And so he asked me to do some stuff for him on a computer, and then we became friends, and I became his assistant. And from that moment on, I was doing everything for him, and I heard all the stories, I heard the lectures, I started meeting even more devotees, all these old time devotees, all these old Ritvik devotees like Mahashringa and Nityananda and Dhamma and Nishringa and Kapindra Swami from New York, and I had these Madhu Pandit and his guys come through my apartment. I had a bunch of people. I mean, there was people coming through all the time. These Ritviks, these old time Ritvik guys. So then I started hearing all this Ritviks, and so that kind of was like the answer to the problem. It was like, well, that's why these gurus are bad. That's why ISKCON is bad. It's all because of this Ritvik thing. And I bought that hook, line, and sinker because it made sense that why Prabhupada's movement would go shitty. And it just took the blame off of Prabhupada. It just shifted the focus from Prabhupada being a fraud and a fake and a fraud and doing all this stuff wrong, giving sannyas to the wrong people and all these things. It shifted the blame from Prabhupada to these gurus. So I went along with it. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. It makes sense. And so I went with that for up until the Tattva Darshan. And that's when I was like, you know what? That's bullshit. You guys are bullshit. Everything's bullshit. Prabhupada's bullshit. And then going down that rabbit hole led me to all the crap. And then I started putting all the pieces together, and I started filling in all the blanks, filling in the pieces. It was like putting a puzzle together. And pretty soon you start to see you don't have all the pieces in yet, but you know what it is. You can see what it is. It's a barn and there's a tree. You might not have all the pieces in there, but you know it's a barn and a tree, and there's a cart over there. That's what it. You're right, but I heard he fell from sannyas in jail. How do you do that? I mean, I guess he's having illicit sex in jail. I don't know. I don't know how you fall. I don't know how you're already renounced. You're in jail. What are you doing? How you can't? Prabhupada says it's like this material body is like being in jail, and here this guy's in jail, and he can't be a sannyasi. Passed away at 77 a long time ago. The brainwashing they do to make it seem like he is still the main monkey in charge, worshiping his statue every day in all his temples. Yeah, it's and it's crazy how when you're in there you become normalized to that. Like I don't know how, I don't know when that became normal for me. I remember the first time I was in the LA temple, and I was standing there, and and I look over, and then there's this statue of Prabhupada sitting there, and I was like, oh, that's, you know, and then everyone was the way they treated it. I thought it was weird. I thought it was really, I thought it was weird, and then And then a couple years later, I'm laying down in front of the statue, throwing flowers on his feet, touching his feet, doing all of this, taking the flower over and putting it under his nose so he could smell it. I was doing all I was doing I was doing all of that stuff. And just a few years before that, I thought that was really strange, but somehow it somehow the brainwashing somehow it gets you. And that's why I know how important these videos, doing these videos are for me, but for people to watch and see, because it does happen. The brainwashing does happen. You go from walking in that temple and going, wow, this is pretty weird. They're doing some weird stuff, and then 6 months later, it's you doing all that weird stuff. It's you getting up at 4:30 in the morning and going and worshiping a plant and watering it and singing songs and dancing around a little Tulsi plant. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, when I go to India and I'm in Vrindavan, it's only the Hare Krishnas that are doing that. The Indians aren't doing that. My friend doesn't do that. He doesn't. I mean, he respects Tulsi, but he doesn't do the whole thing. He doesn't do it. It's not necessary. He was he was gay. Who was gay? Who was gay? Are you talking about Tamal or are you talking about uh, Tirtha? I don't know. I don't know which one. I don't. I don't know which one. Um, yeah, gentleness on steroids. Um, so before we get to the wheel, before we get to the wheel, um, let me see what did I do with these? Well, I don't know. I'm gonna take the easy way out and just go right over here to this email that Raphael sent in. He sent in some photos, and I wanted to share them because I think it's good that we do show and tell. I think show and tell it's definitely constructive. Um, Let me see what. Okay, I have that video. I have that video set up, um, and I wanna watch these videos. But I wanted to I wanted to show this guy, talk about this, because we're talking about sannyas, we're talking about gurus, and I know this is from. I mean, if I hope I can get this right. Okay, so you look at this guy here. Okay, this is His Holiness again with the holiness. His Holiness Bhakti Bala Pura Puris Goswami, an ISKCON sannyasi, renunciate, and guru. Okay, so he was removed as a sannyasi and guru. This is back in 2007. But I just, look at this. Can we get this? Can we blow this up a little bit? I don't know. Look at this guy, man. This is a guru. This is an ISKCON guru. Um, Let me see. Getting away to Rivik saved you from a lot of Vyasa Puja's welcoming cosplayer gurus and watching so many sneaky feet. It did, so what happened? So when I was so in when I was at the LA Temple, let me go back here, I guess. So when I was at the LA Temple, I would see all these because I was working at ITV, so I was there all day. I'd be there in the morning, then I'd go to work there, and then my daughter was in the school, and then I'd pick her up from school. We'd go home, which was just like a mile away. Um, so I was there. I was there at ITV. That's why I saw so many people come and go, because not only would they come and go at the LA Temple, gurus and just whoever people, uh, whatever these people, whoever these people were, they would come up to see Nishringananda. They'd come into ITV. They'd come into the office, and I would be there. I was working at ITV, and I'd meet them. I'd meet, all these guys, Gaur Govinda Swami, and all these, so many of these gurus that came through L.A. And I'd see them. They'd have their little their entourage would be there, and they'd have their little their reception out on the street. So I saw what was going on, and they'd stay in the house across the street. Some of them, a couple of them stayed there for a while. I forget. I forget the guy that was living there for a while, but and then some of them lived in the Orange Building. Sometimes they would just come in for Rath Yatra, or they'd come in for Prabhupada's festival that they'd have, or John Moss, whatever it was. And I would see them, and I'd see how their followers would just fawn all over them like they were. And I didn't get it. I was like, what? Well, those of you that watch my videos, you know how I am. So you can imagine, I was just very skeptical about that whole thing. Like, I was into Prabhupada, and I was into the chanting, and I was into the festival. I was into the whole thing, following the three regulative principles, whatever. I was into the. I liked it, but I just didn't have any faith that these gurus were who they were, and I saw them as a bunch of fraud and fakers. And so I knew from the beginning I was not going to ever wash any of these guys' feet. Like, we never did that with Yashodanandan. We always preached against that. That's why when the shit broke with Tattva Darshan, and I was like, you guys are no different, because they came at me. They came at me like they were these elders, like they were the GBC. They came down on me like they were the GBC, and I was this pod guy. I was like, the guy that has the webpage. They came at me like I was the bad guy. And I said, you guys are just like ISKCON. You guys are exactly like ISKCON. You protect these pedophiles. You pal around with these pedophiles. You make excuses for them. And if anybody speaks out, you attack them and you threaten them. And you do all the same things, all the same, and you're exactly the same. And when I said that to them, they didn't like that at all. They did not like that. They did not like that at all. Retards are us, man. Yeah, I was one of them. I was one of them, man. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I'm on. Actually, I kind of wear it as a badge of, like a purple heart. It's kind of like a purple heart, I was like, I wounded in action. Washing their stinky feet, man. It makes you want to throw up. Sad reality of living within the cult at full swing. At full swing. So let me get back to this guy. So this guy, look at this guy, man. This guy, he's got to be 400 pounds. He's got to be. Let me see if I can get. Let me see if I can get on camera here. This guy's got to be like 400 pounds, okay? And I'm not trying to body shame him or anything. I'm not, because my wife that passed away from cancer, she was close to 400 pounds. And she ended up losing weight, and then she ended up getting cancer, diagnosed with cancer. So I'm not trying to body shame him at all, but I'm just saying, but I am. I'm not body shaming, but I am bringing attention to the size of this man. Now you can't tell me, you can't tell me that this is not an eating disorder. This man weighs 400 pounds, and you can't tell me that's not an eating disorder. This guy. How do you chant 16 rounds a day do devotional service, give lectures, get up at 4:30 in the morning, do all of these things, and weigh 400 pounds and get like this. How do you get like this when you're and Jayapataka too? And seriously, this is an eating disorder. This is a mental issue. He's got issues. You don't just gain. You just don't end up like 300, 250 pounds overweight. And he's a guru. He has control. He's gonna sit there in his orange coat, in his orange suit, and his little begging apron thing, and try to tell you that he's in the renounced order, and he's in control of his senses. He's not in control of his. He's not in control of his stuff in his face. How do you get that? How do you get that big? How do you get that fat? And you're controlling your senses. You're a guru. You got to spend a lot of time eating to get that big. You got to have some big plates of prasadam all the time to get like that, man. My friend Beer Lakshman was big. He wasn't that big. He wasn't even close to that big. And Beer Lakshman was a big guy. I mean, he was a big fat dude. I mean, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't like that. I mean, you get older, we get middle age, you get a little older, you get a little, you put on a few pounds, not a few 100 pounds. You don't put on a few 100 pounds. I mean, seriously, that is an eating disorder. That's a mental. He's got issues, man. You don't just blow up in the. You don't. My wife, bless her heart, she passed away. Rest in peace. Rest her soul. She admitted that she had an eating disorder. She's like, I've been fat since I was a kid. I was a fat little kid, and I was a fat teenager, and and she passed away at like 40 something years old from colon cancer. So it's not it's not a joke. I didn't put this picture up so we can all laugh at him, although he is a fraud and a phony, and he did get kicked out. I don't know what he got kicked out for. It says indiscretion with female disciples. I can't believe a female disciple would want to have indiscretion with this guy that he's supposed to be in control of his senses. And look at him. I mean, seriously, he's not in control of anything. They're overfeeding him. He's supposed to be a renunciate. He's overfeeding himself. They're overfeeding him. They just. Well, we all know that prasadam is a big deal, and Maha prasadam is a big deal, right? I mean, who doesn't like? I mean, in L.A., man, we had some really good Maha prasadam. I mean, the Maha prasadam was like, it was just. I got to admit, it was like some of the best food I've ever had. Do I miss it? I miss it a little bit. Do I care? No, I don't care. I don't miss it that much. I miss it if I think about it, but I never think about it. But some of the food at the L.A. temple, the Mahaprasadam, these Indians, these Indian cooks from India, and they would be cooking in the kitchen in L.A. and they would just make some of the best some of the best prasadam. And I know when I was working at ITV, Nrsingananda was picking up our bill at the restaurant, and we would get the Mahaprasadam, and he would pay for it, take it out of our pay, but he would pick up the bill every day for the prasadam that we would have for lunch, and man, that was that was just It was great. And I put on a few pounds. That food is not healthy. It's made with ghee and sugar and all kinds of like milk and yogurt, and you can put on some pounds. So this guy, look at this guy, man. It's just such a scam. It's just such a scam. Um, and who's gonna tell him, hey, you're eating too much? Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him you're having too much prasadam? Nobody. Nobody's gonna tell him. Let me get back over here. Let's see, where am I? Here we are. Whoops. Oh, I got to do this. Nope. Nope, not that. I got to do this. There we go. What's the question over here? Mike, was your wife Hare Krishna too? No, she wasn't actually. Um, she was a Christian. She was like a Bible. She was really into the Bible and these preachers. And she'd read the Bible, and she'd read these lectures from these preachers, like we read Prabhupada. And so I saw it as like, oh, she's almost a devotee. She's almost a devotee. And she accepted me because she was like, well, he's chanting. He's, goes to the temple. He's religious. So it was kind of we accepted each other. We accepted it. It was quite unique. Milk, honey, and herbs. Yeah. So there's another video here I wanted to show that again Rafal sent this in, and I got to tell you, these guys are so full of shit, man. These guys are so full of shit, and I'm glad Rafal teed it up. He said go right to this spot here, and so I did, and I'm gonna start it here, and we're gonna hear what this guy's got to say. And I guess he's a new second generation, becomes a swami now. I mean, I don't know. I guess he's here he is.
So then I put another PIN code in, rejected. And in that moment I realized I forgot my PIN code. Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. You see? Then I had to call the phone company, get the whole thing unlocked. This is going on. Krishna is giving us messages every single day. You see, Krishna can speak to you. Krishna can speak to you through anyone. Once I was driving.
Okay. He again with this insanity that the insanity that Krishna is talking to you through your phone or through a message or through a text or through anything, that anything that you do, Mr. Potato Head, whatever it is somehow Krishna coming and he's speaking, he's doing. But yet when these children, these thousands of children were being molested, and they're praying to Lord Nrsingadev, and they're praying to whoever, Vishnu and Krishna and Radharani, and praying to their guru and praying to their parents, and please God, save me from these molesters and these rapists and these Danadar who's beating me, and the other guy that was beating him with sticks till their skin was coming off of their. Krishna had at that point. That's where Krishna draws the line. Okay, I'll send you a text message, or I'll speed up the line at Starbucks, or if you pray something, I'll send a message through, and you'll get a lower price, or whatever it is, some magical mystical thing. I'll work through that way. But when it comes to the protecting these children, What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? It's not like I'm God or anything. I mean, come on. I'll help you find your keys. Oh God, please help me find my keys. I'll help you find your keys, but you know what? I'm not saving these kids from being raped. I'm just not doing it. I mean, is that what was going on? I mean, you're like, hey, Krishna, please, make, I don't want to burn the sweet rice. I don't want to burn the rice. I'm making sweet rice for Maharaj. So please, look, by Krishna's arrangement, the rice is perfect. I didn't mess up the sweet rice by Krishna's arrangement. But when the kids are being molested and the women are being abused, Krishna got nothing to do with that. He's not around. He's not around. You said minute 28. Well, I found something else actually you said minute 22, and that's where I went. Hey, Queen of Karma. Hey, how you doing, man? You did such a great job on that video, the second video you did where you tied everything together was so amazing. I just have to say, it was just so amazing. That great work, man. Kudos to you. And thanks for being here. Yeah, here we go. Queen of Karma, your video on this cult was great. It was. You did one where you did the article and you explained it, and then you did the second one where you did with the cults and the Nazis and all of that, and that was really fantastic. So here's this Swami, and I started watching here. Here he goes. Let me see.
I was going to get one of the Sankirtan vehicles fixed in the mechanic. And in England, if you are on your phone while driving, offense. In India, it's offense? In India, nothing's offense. In London, everything's offense. So a phone call came. So, we are devotees. We're beyond the law.
Okay, so he's not joking there. When he says that and he's laughing, he's like, we're devotees. We're beyond the law. We're above the law. He means it. It's not a joke. He answered his phone. We're above the law. He's like, we can do that. We don't follow the law. We follow Krishna. And Krishna will direct us and guide us. And if anything happens, Krishna will protect us. And they don't have to follow the law. They don't have to follow the law. They only follow the law if they don't want to, if they have to, so they don't get caught. But their mentality is we don't care about laws. We answer to Krishna. We're devotees. That's what he just said. He means it. He's not joking. He means it.
So a phone call came. So, we are devotees. We're beyond the law. So I answered it. Anyway, then I saw police.
He answered the phone. He knows it's against the law. He's like, I don't care. And then he jokes about it. He says, so where's the honesty and the truth? If you're above the law, so where's your truthfulness and your honesty? How can you be a holy man? He's got his name holy, his holiness. Swayam. Doesn't that mean truthfulness? I don't know. No, that's Satyam. I don't know what he is. Swayam Bhagavan, God. So he's got the name of God in it, right? Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj. It's like God. His name, and then he's Maharaj. This guy. And he sits there and says, we're above the law. He's telling a story about how he broke the law. He doesn't care that he broke the law. And it's part of his story. He's going to make it part. This is the point. The point of the story is that they're above the law, and they don't have to answer to anybody except Krishna. That's the point of this story right here.
Police car, boom, go back. So quickly I put the phone down. Anyway, I was driving, sure enough, behind me, police car. Oh, Krishna.
Police car behind him. Oh, Krishna. He wants Krishna to help him. You don't think those kids that were molested were like, hey, Krishna, can you come help us? No, Krishna didn't show up for them. But Krishna, I guarantee you Krishna's going to help this guy. That's the point of the story, that Krishna will help you. As long as you're not a little kid in the Gurukula.
So then he pulled me over. So then he knocked. Turned the window down.
If you want to look strong, go to the gym.
Oh, boy.
But if you want to be strong, do.
So I said, what's the problem? He said, you were talking on the phone while you were driving. I said, no, I wasn't. He said, no, step out of the car. So I came out of the car. And then, already I'm 7 foot tall. Then I'm in all saffron. And then,
Yeah, you're a freak. You're a 7 foot tall, saffron clad, stick holding freak. That's what you are.
Immediately he's like, okay, who is this guy? Like, what planet did he arrive from?
Yeah, what planet? Like, you do believe in space travel, that you arrive from another planet. You do believe that you came from the spiritual world, from a spiritual planet, right? It's true. You do believe you came from another planet.
So he said, no, you were speaking on the phone. I said, no, I wasn't speaking on the phone. No, I wasn't. He said, you were speaking on the phone. I said, no, I. And then he looked at me and he said, Mr. Monk, the truth shall set you free.
This guy's making a point. He's proud of the fact that he was lying. He's proud of the fact that he broke the law. He said, we're above the law. You can break the law. And now he's so proud that he lied to the cop and said, I wasn't on the phone. The cop's like, dude, you're a monk. You can't tell the truth. Mr. Monk, the truth will set you free. What a fraud. What a fraud this guy is. He's sitting right there in front of everybody, telling everybody, I'm a fraud. I'm a big fat fraud. I broke the law. I think I'm above the law. I don't answer to anybody but whoever I want to. I don't have to follow any rules.
The truth shall set you free.
And then he's gonna sit there and go, and I lied to the cop. I just lie whenever I want. Whenever it suits me, I just lie. I can't tell the truth. I don't have to tell the truth. Why do I have to tell the truth? I'm above the law. And everybody laughs. It's a big joke. It's a big joke to these guys. It's a big joke that these guys can break the law, sit there and laugh about it, lie to the cop, and laugh about that.
I was thinking, like, I should be saying that to you. He's preaching.
Yeah, you fucking and he has a realization. He has a realization that the cop is holier than he is. That he's just a big fraud, and I should be saying this to the cop, and yet the cop is telling me, and I'm the one that has his holiness in front of my name, and I ain't holy at all. I'm just a big fat piece of shit, and the cop has more sense than I do. That's what he's really saying. And everybody's laughing. Like, yeah, you're above the law. You answered your phone, and then you lied to the cop, and then the cop told you, oh, this is hilarious. Oh, this is such a hilarious, transcendental story about, I don't know what.
He said, we got it on the camera. I said, okay. I said, you're right.
We got you on the camera. Oh, okay. I'm busted. All right. Yeah. And this is a holy man. This is a goddamn holy man that gets donations, travels around the world with his little stick and his flowers, and gets to cosplay and sit there and pretend that he's some holy man. And he sits there and it tells you the story about how he was lying to the cop. And he's proud of it. He's fucking proud of it. He's proud of it.
Sorry, I was. He said, anyway, I like you. You're the Hare Krishnas, right? He said, I heard you guys chanting the other day. Hare Krishna, Dalai Lama. I said, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. No. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. No, he said, no, Hare Krishna, Dalai Lama. No, I said, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. That's the mantra. I know. I'm a monk.
You're a lying monk. You're a friggin' lying, fraudulent, fake monk who has no shame and will sit there and talk in front of the whole temple about how you lied to a cop and you broke the law and then lied to the cop. Why? Because you think you're above the law. You think you're better than everybody. That he's a dumb, meat-eating carmy, and you're the slick, smart, so super intelligent guru that can just outsmart anybody.
He said, I like you guys. We need more people like you in the world.
The fuck? Because he doesn't know who you people are. He doesn't know what you really do and that you're just cosplaying and you're a faker. He knows that you lie. He knows you have no problem lying. You have no problem breaking the law and then lying about it. Right to the cop's face. And you have the nerve to sit there and call yourself a holy man. You have the nerve to call yourself a holy man while you sit there and brag about being above the law. These guys are the biggest scammers, the biggest frauds. This guy, what is he teaching these people in this temple? Go out there and break the law. Use your phone while you're driving. Krishna will protect you. He protected me. The cop came up. I told him I was a monk. Made a little joke, and the cop let me go. So, hey, Krishna works. Krishna, just chant Hare Krishna. Be happy. You need to break the law, break the law. You need to lie to a cop, lie to a cop. Hey, I did it. I'm a guru. I'm a monk. So proud to call himself a monk, but can't tell the truth. Can't tell the truth to the cop. Can't tell the truth to the cop. That's what he's teaching these people. That's what he's teaching these people. And they're so stupid, they're clapping and laughing and joking right along with him. The whole audience is like, yay. You're a lying criminal. I don't know if using, I guess it's a crime. I guess that's a crime. I mean, I say we find that cop, that policeman, and sue him for letting this guy off. He broke the law. They both did. Why does he get let off? Because he's a holy man. He ain't a holy man. That's the whole thing. He ain't a holy man. If he was a holy man, he wouldn't have lied about being on the phone. He wouldn't have used his phone in the first place, man. When I was a Hare Krishna, I used to take pride in the fact that I was a Hare Krishna and I wasn't a criminal and I was a good person and I was a vegetarian and I cleaned up after myself. I threw my trash away. I didn't litter. I didn't do stuff like that. I didn't do stuff like that. I felt like being a Hare Krishna, I didn't feel like I was a holy man, but I felt like I was a representative of a spiritual way of life, so that why would I be, you know, you don't want to see me, you know, sitting there smoking a cigarette and throwing trash on the floor while I'm dressed up like I'm a spirit, like I'm a holy man, lying to the cop, using my phone when I'm not supposed to be. You know, it's maybe the whole cop story. Maybe the whole cop story is a lie. If the whole cop story is a lie, then he's lying about that. Either way, I mean, if you, if he's, you know, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to make up a story. I wouldn't put it past him to make up a story to you know, enhance his lecture. He talks like a good cosplayer. Yeah, he's got a lot of practice. He's got a lot of practice at it. He looks like a liar for sure. You know, when I watched that video about the expert, you do 10,000 hours, you get feedback. It's the same thing with these guys. He gives a bunch of lectures. He figures out what works, what doesn't, what engages the audience. When he gets the clap and they go, ooh, and they all laugh, and he puts a little joke in there. He does this over and over and over and over again. He becomes an expert at it. Just like when I was out working out on the street selling keychains and flashlight, whatever the crap it was that they'd give us that day to go sell on the street. And you're pitching to people on the street, 110 people a day. You're trying it out. You're going, hey man, hey, you do your pitch. It doesn't work. So and then it works. And you go, oh, let me use that word. Oh, that phrase worked. I used this thing, and the guy bought 4 of them. And then I did this, and the guy bought another 2. So let me try that again. Oh, I tried it again, and the guy bought 7 of them. So you get feedback, and you start to adjust what you're doing, and pretty soon you're an expert at it. You're an expert at going out and selling stuff to people. You know how to say. You know how to break the ice. You know how to say a little joke. You know how to get them to be friendly with you and feel like you're a buddy. And then you know how to ease in the close. You know how to close the sale. And then you know how to introduce another product. I mean, there's a whole little thing. Same thing with this guy. They go through it. He's like, okay, I'm going to start off with the prayer. I got to do the little chingies do, and I'm going to say this prayer, and I'm going to say that prayer, and then I'm going to open up with this, and we're going to read, and I'm going to say the thing for Prabhupada's purport, and hopefully the purport is short, and I can get right to my lecture because I got a whole thing that I've been practicing what I want to say, and they do it, and it's like a performance. And when you start to see it like that, you can see right through them. See right through them. You can see how they ain't gonna say nothing. He ain't gonna say nothing. I heard this shit from Yashodanandan so many times, and from all of these other gurus. He's proud with the story. He'll be victorious. Mr. Monk, a cunning freak. Oxford graduate.
But he said, don't speak on your phone while you're driving. So it's amazing. Krishna's messages come to us in all ways. Atachetam mahankaran, but are you hearing Krishna? When we come into a class, Krishna is giving us a message. When we open up a book, Krishna is speaking to us. When we come in front of...
So when we open up a book and Krishna says that black people belong in the jungle and they shouldn't have never been given freedom, or women like to be raped, or 13-year-old girls must be married to 25-year-old men, that's Krishna speaking to us? You want me to believe that? You want me to believe that Krishna is saying these things? And when Prabhupada says that we didn't go to the moon because Sunday comes before Monday, and that's his reasoning for we didn't go to the moon, I'm supposed to accept it because it's in some book? Or because Prabhupada says it? After you just told me that you lied to a cop? I'm going to listen to you now and take your word for something? This is fucking insanity. Friggin' insanity. Okay, I'm done with this guy. I got I gotta get out of here with this guy, man. Um, how do I do this again? Okay, I gotta do this, and then hey, there I am. So yeah, I mean, the stories, the things you got to bend your mind to believe with these people is that blows my mind. Moon landing and the racism, the sexism, the demon heads eating the moon, the guy growing out of the flower, the four-headed guy with the snake growing on, and that's his brother. I mean, so many things you want me to believe this stuff. And let me just clear something else up before we get to the. Oh, I wanted to get to Raphael's photos. Let me clear something up. This is not philosophy. Okay, this is not philosophy. Worshipping Govardhan Hill because snakes are going to eat you or bite you. Yeah, that's not a philosophy. Okay, uh, Krishna having his own planet, Goloka Vrindavan, or that there's a spiritual universe and the material universe is just 1/4 of the spirit. That's not a philosophy. The whole it's God's in the heart, and he's super soul and all that. That's not a philosophy. That's not a philosophy. These are superstitions. These are superstitions. This is not philosophy. It's not philosophy. So I want to clear that up. That's another thing that needs to be cleared up. When they start talking about philosophy and Chinchabeta Beta Tattva and Sanatana Dharma and throwing out all these words, and they want you to think that this is some philosophy. This is not philosophy. This is superstition. This is superstitions. There's demon heads eating the moon. There's ecodicity where you don't eat grains because the demons put the seeds and the grains on these days, and if you eat them, then you're going to have bad children. I mean, this is not philosophy. Okay, taking a bath in the river and to wash your karma off, and that's not philosophy. That's superstition. Just chanting of these mantras and all of this rules and this is not philosophy. This is superstition. This is superstition. This is no different than like witchcraft or voodoo. This is not philosophy. It has nothing to do with philosophy. They want to bring Madhavacharya and Ramunajacharya, whatever these actual philosophers into this, and they had nothing to do with chanting Hare Krishna. That's why I say this is all bullshit. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you slice it, no matter whether you say Ritvik bullshit or ISKCON bullshit, it's all bullshit. And just like it's no ancient tradition, it's no 5,000-year-old tradition. It's not even a 1,000-year-old tradition. It's not even a 500-year-old tradition. This chanting Hare Krishna is invented in the last 200 years or something like that. So it's all bullshit. It's not an ancient tradition. Chaitanya was not some god, if he even existed. If he even existed. How about no water? You want to clean your hand? Okay, pull your right ear 3 times and say Shri Vishnu. Yeah. Pull my finger. How's that? You pull my finger. I got a surprise for you. Pull my finger. Um, so Rafal sent in some photos, and I wanted to. Here they are. But okay, that one is sideways, so I can't really show that one. Let me see. How can I do this? I don't know. Okay, I think I just gotta. I think I. Just, oh, here we go. Here it is. Let's see. So this is a really interesting photo, and I'm so glad you have this. I'm so glad you have this photo. This photo, man. So so disturbing. It's so disturbing. So here we go. We got Indra Yumna Swami. I'm not sure who this guy is. Oh, this other again with the overweight with the overweight pod. Um, Guy just cannot control the eating, and and I can understand. I understand you put on a few pounds. Like I said, everybody, you put on a few pounds. You put on a few pounds. That's okay. I'm not knocking. I'm not trying to body shame them. But these guys are supposed to be controlling their senses. They're so into this. Everything is controlled and everything is sense gratification. And obviously, this guy cannot control. Uh, he cannot control his appetite, and it's just more of the hypocrisy and the bullshit. But here, the main thing about this hipster guru with the YouTube channel says Hare Krishna is a science. Yeah, they all say it's a science, but what's scientific about it? Ballabha Puri Goswami. So that's the same. So that's the same guy. That's the same guy. So he's on his way to getting. Okay, so it's the same fat fuck that was on the other photo. Okay, but notice Indra Yumna Swami. He's always got a little girl with him. He's always got a little girl with him, and women and little girls. But look at that little girl. She is so uncomfortable. She does not want to be there. She does not want to be in that photograph. She doesn't want to be there. He's got his hand on her head, which is that's probably bothering her. That's probably bothering her too. That he's got it. He's resting his hand on her head. Rafal, is that you? Rafal, is that you there? I The little girl does not look happy at all. The little girl actually looks. The little girl looks distressed. She has a distressed look on her face, and it could just be. No, honestly, photographs snap just like 1 second or a fraction of a second of what's going on, but they are actually posing. So they're holding that pose there. That's not you, okay? So anyway, so that's Indra Yumna Swami, and of course he has a little girl, and it just she does not appear to be happy at all. She's looking down, and then she's got her eyes kind of to the side there. So, and then she has absolutely no smile on her face, and she does, and fidgeting with her hands. She just does not look happy to be there. And of course, I'm not a body language person. I'm not a body. I have no training in reading body language. But I can just tell you right now, just from looking, you've got 3 very happy, smiling old men and one small, little distressed girl. And I can tell she looks distressed. I don't care what anybody I don't care what anybody says. She looks distressed to be there. And I don't want to linger on that little girl. I don't know who she is. but I feel sorry. I feel sorry for her. Beep beep. Lifting the lid on Hinduism, Kindle edition by Vipul Trivedi. So yeah, that's a very disturbing that's a very disturbing photo. Anyway, I thought that was the most interesting photo. The other photos are sideways, and I can't really. I don't know how to get them to turn. Let me see. Maybe. Okay. Let me see. I get this right. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this one. So this one. God, these guys, man. So what do we have here? We've got. Who is that? Is that Bhakti Vikash Swami and Radhanath? Is that who that is there? Oops. I don't know what I did. Okay. Anyway, these cheater scammers, guys, man, they make me sick. They make me sick. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on now. Oh. Oh, okay. That's Naranjan there? Oh, that's who that is. I knew he looked familiar, but I didn't. I don't know who these freaks are. Okay, so you got Bhakti Vikash, Radhanath, and then you got Naranjan over here. I guess this was. Yeah, they all look so young. I guess this was a while ago, like 20 years ago or so. These guys. I don't know how to get out of this. Let me see what I can do here. Okay. Okay. Now, there was one other one. Let's see. There was one I wanted to get to. Was that it? Was that it? It was that freak, and then the other freak. Okay, so I think we're done with these. We're done with these freaks. 1996. So this was 1996. Okay. That was my first. That was the year my first trip to India was '96. That was the first time I went to India. So let's get to this wheel. I know I want to spin the wheel. I had fun with it last time because it landed on pod, and that's always a friggin' clown show. That pod. Let's see. We get we get this going here. I don't know. You know, you guys. If you guys at home, you can bet. If you guys at home want to this could be like roulette if you wanted to put you guys. I'm not paying out. I'm not the bank, but if you guys wanted to wager, you could actually wager. You could put money on red or blue. You could pick the guru, the gurus here, and then you could actually maybe make some money. I don't know. I don't know how you could do that. But yeah, you could actually gamble like guru gambling. It's like spinning for gurus for dollars or something. I don't know what you call it, bowling for dollars. But we have, of course, here we go. We got the wheel, of course. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it'll land on Gorahari because he's always fun. In fact, maybe it would be funny if he was live. If he was live right now. I don't know. Is that wrong? The guy's a scammer. I mean, he shouldn't. The guy's a scammer. Uh, let's see. Is he doing anything? Is he live right now? He's not live. Oh, but let's see. Maybe he was. Well, you know what? I'm pulling for. I'll put my money on Gorahari because he's always. That's always fun. It's hilarious. I shouldn't be laughing, but I am. I am gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh at all of these guys, and it is kind of sad. You know, they're scamming people. They're abusing people. All of these things, but I still laugh at these guys. I mean, I think they're scum of the earth, but I still laugh at them. I can't help it. I can't help it. Let's see. What do we got? We got this. We got this. And we've got yeah, we got Mike over here. Let's see. We can get Mike over here. So there's your list. There's your list. Um, let's see if it'll land on somebody that we have not. It has not landed on yet. And of course, we have our theme. We've got our theme music, which is always fun, kind of suspenseful. And let's see if we give it a good spin. Let's see if we give it a good spin. There we go. And we've got Devamrita Swami. Oh my goodness! What a surprise! It's actually quite the surprise. Oh, there we go again with this. Okay, now let's find Devamrita Swami. This should be fun. This is somebody that we don't see a whole lot of. Oh God, let's see. Oh, so this was recent. Let's see what's he been up to lately. What have you done for me lately? Let's see. Uh, disciples of Guru Haridas don't know his real name. He refuses to tell it to them. Got shady past, hiding in Mexico. Oh, wow! I didn't know that. Disciples of Guru Haridas don't know his real name. He refuses to tell it to them. Wow, you know, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But next time he tries to bait me to go into his Zoom, next time he tries to get me to go into his chat, I'll tell him I'll come into your chat if you tell me what your real name is, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens then. What do we got here? Let's see. Uh, so you got to remember, this guy was a real freak. He was in New Vrindavan with Kirtanananda. He's a Kirtanananda groupie. So when Kirtanananda was going off the deep end and dressing in robes and singing Christian hymns or doing all kinds of weird, wacky stuff in New Vrindavan, this guy was right there with him. And when Kirtananda left ISKCON, this guy went right along with him and said, I'm going with Kirtanananda. You know what? I'm going to go with the freakiest, fucking weirdest, fucking strangest, child molesting weirdo there is. I'm going to go follow him. And that's what this guy did. He went off to go be with Kirtanananda. And then when it ended up that Kirtanananda was a criminal and he ended up going to jail, this guy and Radhanath and a bunch of other people went sniveling back to ISKCON. Oh, please take me back. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean all those things that we were saying before and all the stuff that we were doing. I'm sorry. That's who this guy is. So this guy's already a fraud and a phony because he couldn't stick it out when he was supposed to back with Kirtanananda. This guy's a big fat cheater. And then he comes crawling back going, "Oh, I'm sorry." But wait a minute. What happened at New Vrindavan? Oh wait, aren't you the guys that isn't New Vrindavan where they put out the hit on Salochan and shot him in his van? Oh, you were at that temple while that was going on? You mean you were right there and knew all about it? Are you one of the ones that was celebrating? Are you one of the ones that had the big party when you found out that Salochan got shot? Wait a minute, you were there? You were there at the party when the devotee got shot? You were celebrating? Oh, what a scumbag you are. With your little smile and your little chingy chings, and you're going to sit there and you're going to pretend like you're a holy man after you were hanging out where this murder took place, where these murders took place and the hit was made, and you're going to sit there and act like you're some holy man? And like we don't know?
This degraded person was offering wine. Ananda, would you like some Ananda? So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda got up, washed their mouths and hands, and took off and jumped into the Ganga.
So this guy thinks this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This guy thinks that he's qualified to sit there and talk about Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda and their pastimes, and he's going to explain it to us after the shady past that he's had? And he's going to sit there and talk about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya? The fucking nerve of this guy. Just piss on all the real fucking Hindu monks and Hindu sannyasis and Hindu gurus that are real and that are really authorized to sit there and talk about these stories and this mythology because it's actually part of their culture. But no, you're going to sit there and cosplay like you're one of them, like you're somebody like you should be sitting there on that chair, like you belong there on that chair. You don't fucking belong on that chair, you piece of shit. You cosplaying piece of shit. You don't belong on that fucking chair preaching out of that book with a picture of these guys over your head. You're the last person that should be sitting on that chair. Freaking my dog should be sitting on that chair barking into that microphone before they let you sit on there and fucking say anything. Oh, we freaking know. We know what they did last summer. He's making me fraud to the core. This guy is big time piece of shit. And as big a piece of shit as he is, his shady ass past, all the shit we know about this guy, he don't care. He's gonna sit on that chair and act like he's a holy man. He's gonna sit there with his orange outfit, his woman-hating clothes, and he's gonna sit there in his woman-hating clothes and act like he's a holy man while he was up to all that shady shit in New Vrindavan. And he's just hoping that no one's going to talk about it. He don't want no one to talk about it. He don't want nobody to talk about it. He don't want me to talk about it. Mythological cult. What a fucking piece of shit this guy is.
Jump right in the Ganga.
So I evidently, if you can sit on a little chair and you can talk about this mythology and you can bullshit, then you're a holy man. You're above the law. You can answer your phone and break the law, and then when the cop pulls you over, you can just lie to him. Just lie to the cop and tell him, say, no, I wasn't on my phone. Why should we be honest? You know what the karmis do? The karmis lie to the cops and break the law. That's what karmis do. That's what common criminals do. Common criminals break the law, and then when the cops catch them, they go, "Hey, I didn't do it. It wasn't me." That's just a common freaking. Your average criminal does that. Not a holy man. You don't expect a holy man to do that. You don't expect your priest in your church to break the law in front of a policeman and then lie to the policeman and go, "No, I didn't answer the phone while I was driving. No, not me." That's what ordinary meat eating, Joe Sixpack, hamburger goblin, Las Vegas Knights having. That's what we do. That's what us degenerate karmis do. We break the law and then lie to the cops. Not you holy men. And what if a cop was a devotee? Then Mr. Monk made Vaishnav aparad. Yeah, none of their shit makes sense. None of their shit makes sense with their aparad and all of this stuff. It's such a friggin', it's just a fucking scam all the way around. Everywhere you look, they're scamming you. It's scamming you. They're telling you the holy name is all powerful. It does this, it does that, it does this, it does that. And yet, you got to put the stuff in this and this and then the chant and you got to do a million friggin' things. And it still might not work because, hey, it's Kali Yuga. It's Kali Yuga, man. And you got karma. So how the fuck can anything work if it's got to deal with my karma and Kali Yuga? My karma and Kali Yuga put together, what the fuck? Why should I even try? You're telling me that the holy name is not stronger than karma and I thought transcendental knowledge is I thought it was supposed to burn up karma. Oh, it's like the blades in a fan. You unplug the fan, the blades are still turning. Well, they don't turn forever. They don't turn forever. And what's with this Trivikram? How does he do 60 years of this stuff? And the blades are still turning after 60. He yanked it, and it's still turning after 60 years. He wants to have sex with a woman. What the fuck? Can anything that you guys say make sense? Can you say one thing that makes sense? No, they can't. They can't say one thing that makes sense. The guy sits there and goes, I answered the phone because, we're above the law. What do you mean you're above the law? Where does it say that? Prabhupada never says that you don't have to obey the laws. Where does Prabhupada say that you don't have to follow the law? Prabhupada doesn't say that. Anyway, he says the opposite. He says you got to follow the law. Fucking bullshit. By the way, saw a photo of Trivikram prominent features Ananda in ISKCON to Mumbai, sitting chanting 5-star treatment. Okay, hey, that's so. What, he was there with his girlfriend, or Trivikram, or are you just calling him prominent features Ananda? Oh, prominent features Ananda. Oh, So he was by himself, and he's just like kicking it now. He's like retirement. He's he's like Leisure World. They sent him to Leisure World, and he's just like kicking it in the retirement home, the MVT retirement home for old gurus, old guru society. Is that what he's doing? I mean, this is so stupid. That's what they do, though. It's so stupid. No girlfriend, alone. So there you go. The guy's a holy man. He's still abusing. He totally abused this woman. He used her for sense gratification. I mean, what else did he use her for? He didn't use her to print any books like fucking Swimmer Pod. He didn't use her like to get money to print books. I could see if he said, "Hey, look, I had sex with her. She donated like $10,000, and I'm going to print some books." I mean, of course that's wrong, but you know, this time in a white dhoti, not pants. It's such a fucking bullshit, man. You know, he can't. Well, like I said, he's taking my advice. If you're like 65 and over and you're in this cult, just stay in. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So he's going to stay in. But I mean, he should just hang it up. He knows he fucked up. He knows it ain't real. He knows he ain't in control of anything. I mean, come on, if you're 80 years old and you're still trying to bang your fucking 35-year-old disciple, you ain't learned shit. I mean, that's confirmation that you fucked up. You fucking and yeah, I don't even want to focus on him fucking up. It's the fact that he fucked up this innocent woman who came to him thinking he was a guru, thinking he was going to teach her something, like Gorahari, thinking that he was going to give her some transcendental whatever knowledge, or I don't know. But she thought that if she came and she rendered some service to him, she did something for him, that it was whatever. And he ends up having sex with her. That is like your basic piece of shit guru shit. That's like the Maharishi shit and frickin' Rajneesh shit. That's like your stereotypical piece of shit guru. And he's another one. He's just another one of these piece of shit gurus at 80 years old, is like hitting on a young woman, or even if she initiated it. Why didn't he just say no? Why didn't he just say no? Because he didn't want to say no. He wanted. This is fucking. And who the fuck is he? All this time, all of these people that have been saying that Trivikrama is a piece of shit and he's a scammer, fucking fake fraud guru, were right. Including me. Fucking A, man. 80 years old, and this Krishna consciousness didn't work on him, and he'd been doing it for 60 years. 60 friggin' years. You're doing something for 60 years, and then you fail at it. You gotta just get up and walk away. He needs to just get up and go find his family and say, "Hey, man, I know I've been gone for 80 years. I know I've been gone for 65 years. I know I walked out back in 1967, but hey, I'm back. Can you put me in a home?" No, you might as well stay in, dude. Just stay the fuck in. because we don't want to pay. Nobody wants to pay to put you in a home or to put you in assisted living or stick you in. Nobody wants you around, dude. You're a fucking failure. You're a failure as a guru. You're a failure as a human being. You're a failure as a contributing person in society. You haven't contributed shit to society in 80 fucking years. The only thing you contributed is banging your fucking disciple and ruining her life. Because now you don't want to have anything to do with her. And she probably doesn't want to have anything to do with you. If she was smart, she'd come into my chat, come into this live stream, and she'd chat and tell us what the fuck really happened. And she can tell us what a piece of shit he really is. That's what I was saying the other night. That these Gorahari and these ISKCON gurus, they're exactly the same. Exactly the same. Except ISKCON gurus will tell you what their real names are. But other than that, they're scamming and cheating and full of shit. No different than Gorahari. Gorahari's got these people brainwashed into thinking that he is some guru and he is giving them transcendental knowledge and he can make them giggle and laugh and cry and have all kinds of ecstatic symptoms. That's all because of him. That their mental illness is because of him, and it is. He's right about that. He's got them convinced that they are laughing and crying and doing all of this stupid shit because he's the real guru guy. It is so fucking delusional. It's so fucking sad. It's so sad that they're going to turn their lives over to this fucking idiot. And they're going to sit there and laugh and cry and giggle and whatever while they're chanting like that because they think that that's spiritual advancement. He's got them convinced. If you're not giggling and laughing and crying and the hair standing up on your bald head or whatever, then you're not doing it right. That this is so powerful and so that you should just basically he's saying what I'm saying, that if this shit was even a fraction of what they say it is, as soon as you start chanting you should be like, whoa, you should be going nuts, but you don't. But he's convinced them that if they just act like it and cosplay, well, hey, that's good enough. Who says it has to be real? Who says it has to be real? Just fake it till you make it. That's his philosophy. Who cares if it's real or not? Nobody's gonna know. Come sing and dance and chant and laugh and act like an idiot. Who cares? Who cares? Makes as much sense as they break the law and then pray to Krishna that the cop doesn't give you a ticket, a $2,000 ticket for talking on your phone. ISKCON Mumbai, Juhu is really exquisite stay. 5-star, second restaurant being open, new guest houses built, all marble. He's getting VIP. Why? Why are they giving him this treatment? Why does he get this treatment? What did he do to get this treatment? He fell down. He didn't just fall down. He didn't have an accidental fall down. He broke his vows on purpose. He broke his vows, hid it, lied about it. There you go with the lying again. Lied about it. And it was going on for 6 months. That's not a fall down. That's breaking your vows. That's saying, fuck this. I don't care what I vowed. I don't care what I said. I'm having sex with this woman. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care. That's not a fall down. He didn't fall down. That's like saying Mike Sandoval fell down. I didn't fall down. I left. I had no fall down. Trivikram didn't have no fall down. He broke his vows. He said, I'm having sex with this woman. I don't care. Just like the guy with the phone. I don't care. I'm answering my call. Trivikram. They're the same thing. I don't care about my vows. I'm above that. I'm beyond that. I'm above the law. If you're above the law, you got to be above your vows. It's a fucking scam all the way around, man. And then he breaks his vows. He breaks his vows for 6 months. He's hiding it. He's doing whatever. He's on the down low. And he's doing all this, and then he can't hide it anymore, and it comes out. So what happens? He goes to India and he gets the 5-star treatment. Now he's a hero. Why is he a hero? Why does he get a room and board and food and everything? Why? And and what if she's pregnant? It doesn't even matter if she's pregnant. I mean, if she's pregnant, it's worse. But it's already worse. I mean, what if she's gonna forever now? She has to live. She's forever going to be the woman that had sex with her guru, her 80-year-old guru. That's it. Forever. That's who she is. And, and you think he cares? He doesn't care. He's in Mumbai, living in a MVT, in a friggin' marble apartment. He ain't paying for that. And they're just like, hey, we'll put you up. Just hang out. You stay here, hang out. We don't need you bringing attention to you. So they're gonna just, this is fucking bullshit. What does she get? Does she get a room somewhere? Is she getting a room somewhere? She's the victim in all this. She's the goddamn victim when he's the perpetrator. And why is he getting a friggin' room in India and all expenses paid retirement? He's the one that broke his vows. He's the guru. I don't know, man. This fucking pisses me off. Well, they mistreat women. Friggin' he friggin' abused her. That's abuse, man. You get 80 years old. She's your disciple. She could be your granddaughter, and you're having sex with her, and she's entrusted herself to you for guidance, and then you come and you want to put your dick in her. Oh man, this is like, I can't believe all those guys actually send money to Guru Haridas. I wonder how much. I would. I'm curious to know exactly what he charges. Oh man, I can't even. I just the guy. This scammer dude. I guess I guess we should take a look at one of these things. No, let's see. Can I find a? See if I can find. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
I mean, who does that really, for real? I'm serious. I mean, I was a Hare Krishna for 20 years. I've been to so many kirtans, so many festivals, so many Rath Yatras, so many festivals, so many programs, so many programs in my apartment with kirtan leaders and Yashodanandan and Narayan and so many Goridas, Pandit Das, and so many. In my apartment, having kirtan. At the LA Temple, big giant kirtans. Rath Yatra, big giant kirtans at the Rath Yatra. Venice Beach, Anwat Sika, with big gurus and Krishna Bhavana leading the kirtan. He's a big kirtan leader in LA. So many big kirtan leaders in LA. Big rip-roaring kirtans going on. I never seen anyone in 20 years, well now it's 30 years. In 30 years of being a Hare Krishna, I've never seen anyone act like this.
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram.
Now, the only thing that I've seen that comes close to this is when I was in Vrindavan, and I'll be honest with you, I was in Vrindavan. My daughter and I, this is 1997. We were in Vrindavan. We were living in a house, in Vrindavan there, and the owner of the house was this guy named Haridas, and he was like this little old man. He was like, he was old. He was an old man. I was 30. He must have been in his close to 70 years old. And he had a wife, and he had these grown kids. That's how I know how old he was. He had kids that were my age, older, grown. And he was kind of like he had a temple down in, he had his own temple in Vrindavan, in Old Town. So he was like this Haridas guy, this old guy. He was like, he had a temple. He was like the pujari of one of these old temples like you see behind me, like one of these little hole-in-the-wall temples, right? There's like hundreds of them, thousands of them. Anyway, he had this little temple down like near Loy Bazaar somewhere. And he had he had a copy of the Chaitanya Charitamrita that was written on palm leaves, written on those papers, and it had like the wood holding it together. I mean, this was old. This was an old thing. He took it out. He put it on my head. He dug it out of this thing. Took him like 20 minutes to get it out. Pulled it out, unwrapped it. It was all wrapped up, and he showed it to me. He's Chaitanya Charitamrita. He didn't speak English. He's like Chaitanya Charitamrita. He showed it to me, and then he put it on my head, and I was like, oh wow. Anyway, he had this temple, and he had that in his temple. That was like a relic that he had in his temple. And if you wanted to go see that, you had to go to, like, people would go to his temple to see that copy of the Charitamrita. Like, you had to ask him. But anyway. So that's who owned this house, and we're living in this house. And he would come to the house to, like, check on us to make sure we were okay. And one day in the house, he had a temple He had an altar in this house that we were living in. And one day he was in there, and he was doing his thing to the deity in this in our house. This old man, and he was crying. He was like, he had tears, and he was like praying to this deity that he had, his own deity in the house of my daughter. He's there, and he's praying, and he's chanting, and he's lighting, and he's crying. And my daughter is like going, Dad, look, he's having a moment. She's like, he's having a moment. He's getting all emotional. And I was like, and I looked over to see what she's talking about. And he was all, he was crying. He was like having a moment. He was having a moment. That's the only time I've ever seen anyone have a moment like that in all the years and all the people and all the places and all the things that I was in and all the gurus that I saw and all the things that I never seen anyone exhibit anything like what that old man did. That was totally unique. What to speak of this?
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
I don't even think Gauri Hari can believe. I can't believe what he's saying. I mean, it's just pure, like Raphael. It's pure madness. It's mental illness. It's mental illness. I mean, and believe me, I would go to the kirtan in Vrindavan at the Krishna Balaram temple, and they would have some really rip roaring kirtan, and we would be dancing around, and it would be like just going, and the Indians are going nuts with the spinning and just, and the jumping and everything. And I would get into it too. I'd be like, yeah, this is great. And everybody would be going wild. It would get crazy. And it would get crazy in LA too. Kirtan would get crazy. And I never seen anyone like that. I never seen anyone crying. I've never been anywhere where anyone did anything like this.
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram.
Uh-oh, wait a minute.
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Yeah, it is such nonsense. It's such nonsense. But like I was saying before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again, I will say it right now. He's no different than these other gurus. He's no different than the other guy. He's no different than, where is this guy? He's no different than this guy. He's no different. They're like, they just got a different show. Like one's a country singer and one's a heavy metal singer, but they're both doing this. They're both doing the same thing. They're both entertainers in show business, and they're getting up and they're singing their song, and they're putting on a show. But one is country music and one is heavy metal music. These guys are the same. These guys are exactly the same. Gauri Hari and this guy, exactly the same. He's not telling them to just laugh and giggle and act like a fool or whatever, but he's pretty much telling them to laugh and giggle and act like a fool. I mean, seriously, he is. He's telling them Gauri Hari is trying to say, I can give you a shortcut to the giggling and the crying and all of that. If you follow me, you'll be giggling and crying, just boom. But if you follow these other guys, you'll never gonna be giggling and crying if you follow that guy. That's his stick. But this guy's like, yeah, you can giggle and cry too when you get to my stage, when you got your stick and you're sitting up here on the chair, and then you'll be giggling and crying too. But you know, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and they're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. Godly gymnastics. Man, there is hot lips. Hot lips Houlihan, man. I'm telling you, the hot lips is too much, man. Yeah. But it's really sad. It's really sad to see her. She wants it to be real so bad, and he's yanking her chain, and it's not funny. It is funny. It's funny, but it's sad because one day she's gonna wake up. She's no different than that girl that had sex with Trivikram, because Trivikram used that girl for his own enjoyment, the same way that Gorahari is using this hot lips for his enjoyment. It's just not sexual yet, but he's getting off on the fact that he's got her brainwashed, and he's got her thinking that he's a guru, and that she'll do whatever he tells her. If he tells her to laugh and giggle in that spiritual advancement, and she'll laugh and giggle. If he told me to laugh and giggle, and I'd say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" But he's got her fooled, and so he's getting off on the fact that he's got her fooled, and that she'll laugh and giggle and do whatever he says. The same way that this guy is. The same way that this guy is doing it. He's sitting there telling these people the same thing. They're all scammers. They're all friggin' scammers. So anyway, listen, everybody. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Rafal for providing the photos and the links. That was really great. That poor little girl in that photograph, man. That is so sad. That is so sad. And then that fat guru who got busted. And yeah, so I want to thank Raphael and Dahlia for stopping in, and N, I want to thank you for stopping in, and who else came in today? And Jolyn, I want to thank you for coming in. I want to thank everybody for coming in today, and please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I want to get try to get these videos out to as many people. I noticed in the Reddit group, there's some people that are in there that they're losing every day. Every day somebody's joining. Every day somebody's getting a book. Every day a family is losing a loved one to this cult, to these cults, and so it's important to get these videos out. And I encourage any of you out there that you want to share your stories and you want to like help people. I know it's not for everybody, but our stories are important in helping people come to the right conclusion. I think our stories, and collectively as a group, it's as a group, it's powerful. As a group, there's power in numbers. So I encourage everyone to take it up, take up the story, take up the mantle of leading the anti-Krishna cult, because nobody knows it better than we do. Nobody knows it better than we do. These cult experts, they don't know it like we do. They really don't. They don't know it. They don't know the ins and outs the way we do. And I know they don't know it the way I do. I'll tell you that right now. They don't know it the way I do. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining in today. It's been great. The photos, the videos, spinning the wheel, everything is great. And again, if you want to send me something, you can at itsmike@itsmikesandoval.com. or you can leave a comment, and I'll read it, and I'll do what I can. So everybody have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, wherever you are. Have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. And for all you new people out there that are watching for the first time and watching on the replay, this is me when I was a Hare Krishna, so that you can stop wondering who I am and why I talk so much shit. So, and this is why. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.